Okay, it's time for the visit with the person of high strangeness. In our clip here, in our hello clip, we are now at Tom Waterfalls Park, and we had the battery on our camera was dead by now, and so what we did, we were lucky we found a plug. This would be show number 9 on our Roadrunner series. Last week we went to Reno. We drove you to Reno, and we also mentioned to you that gasoline was $1 higher in California than it was in Nevada, actually. We did very little editing to remind you one of the purposes for the storyline in these shows is we were teaching Tina to film, and we left some of the bad shots in there to explain to the friends that sent me footage what I can use and what I can't use. So that was the dual purpose for the trip that we took in April of 2006. These inserts were filmed and directed by Ebony more in August, and now it's 2007. I'm talking to you, and by the time you see this, Ebony and I will be on the road, and be doing the same trip. So that's where we are. And you kind of know how things work now, and we know how the camera works and how to haul everything in and out of the hotel, and so we have it down pat by now, believe me. And I'm smoking because we have water nearby, so it was a very dry year.
Oh, how about that? Is that not a sign?
Oh, but you know what? Tonight they have an execution. So here we're talking about we were coming to Nevada, and that was the night they had an execution. So we kind of sent some thoughts to the people there.
Because it's a school zone. Okay, we're out of the school zone now. Well, then they were trying to slow us down.
No.
I don't know, before we got to it.
Now to remind you, some of the conversation in the actual car is not really relevant. We just want to give you the impression that you're in the back seat with us here, and that's how that goes.
Nice little places, though. Oh, look at that! Isn't that sweet? The tractor, matches the house.
Oh, lavender. See it?
Oh yeah, do you guys see the lavender growing on the ground?
Click it. We found some lavender, and to remind you, I am driving between 65 and 70 miles an hour. Tina's doing a really good job by now, and here this is a shaker that we actually could have avoided. We had every weather on this particular trip that one person can imagine, and here Tina, sometimes she sees something in the distance, she will pull it in with the viewfinder. When she zooms in, we can actually magnify things by 600 fold. See, she's doing that. And she's trying to pull it in before we get there. But we have a still button. We now got the handle on the still button, so she can give you a still photo of what it is she's looking at. She liked old houses. She liked cows. And things you find at the countryside. We transferred the footage last night. That's so good. See that still photo part? It's very interesting. Now, we have not been this way before, so this is new. But we are talking about this. Neither one of us has been that way. To remind you, we came, we had to, instead of going straight down, we had to go east to get around a really nasty snow system that had hammered Reno. And here it is 2 weeks later, and you can still see lots of flooded fields, and this would have been totally impassable.
Probably is, and then with the rain it flooded it.
at the point when, when we left. Just take a look at this. The road, I think. It's like driving through a lake here. It doesn't get any higher. Nobody said anything. They should have been a sign. We are on 395, believe it or not. And this is the part of 395 that was, we already told you that impassable. Yeah, 395 impassable. If you listen close enough, you hear the birds. I hear a truck. I stand corrected. It's not a truck. It's a motorhome. Yeah, I heard it way ahead of time.
Eagle-filled lake. Eagle Lake-filled, sorry.
Eagle Lake, that's where we were.
Let's see what we got over here.
It shots while you're walking is fine.
Okie dokie. Looks like a map.
Now, if you can hold it there just a little longer.
Western Nevada.
She's going a little fast here.
See if we can get a nice look over here.
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, yeah. Eagle Lake? Huh. Oh, there's cool pictures up here I'm fixing to get. Oh, yeah.
She's all excited.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Slowly take you back this way.
I am sorry.
What do we got here?
I just hit the mic.
Fishing? They got the bald eagle up here. Wow.
I scared myself when I did
Wild
that.
horses and burros? Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ooh,
See-
and you can use your dirt bikes up
See,
here.
she's excited. So this would be a little fast, and people can make out
That's neat. And what kind of plant
what
is
it is
that?
we're looking at here.
Let's see, what does it say up here? We're almost to our next destination spot. Altura?
We're going to Altura.
Altura.
And if anybody knows if they have hotels in the next place, we'll keep going. If not, we'll stop. Some of the little towns just had no hotels whatsoever. And so we try to stick with some of the larger small towns. Usually, as we went from one little town to another, we could ask the locals, do you know where the closest hotel is? And they would say, oh yeah, you have to go to Altura or Lakeview. Or a few weeks ago, we went to Burns Junction. It was on the map indicating it was somewhere, but when this is not a good shot, you see. What she's trying to do is take a picture of this Paiute house that we still don't know what they're called. But anyway, and then the people in the vicinity would know if they are hotels or not. And this is, there you go, she got it for you. We went to the Paiute reservation, asked what they were called, and they wouldn't tell us. So.
We got it, and we're getting closer to it. Pull it back.
We didn't see very many
It does look like an
of
old
those,
house
even
of
though
some
we
sort.
were on reservation land for a very long time.
Barn.
The weather clouds have changed to puffy clouds, which is good. It's the home of the grasshoppers.
There you go.
They said this was the home of the grasshoppers. I like the back shots like that.
that's water on the side, all the flooding, if you can see this. Yes, you can over here.
It's still flooded. That's a little Bob Marley there.
We're getting close to Altar's. Because I seen a ranch. Huh?
Play a Marshall. That's dirt.
That one looks like a pyramid. Look at that one.
Dirt. Floods. As you can see, most of the snow is melted by now. Okay, I really appreciate that, yeah, and I think I'm on the same latitude with that whole note. I really am. Okay, what's happening here? I'm on the phone talking to Catherine Brandfield. She has called us to notify us that we want to know where we were. It's very restless, not good footage here. So, but bear with me. This is something I don't want when you send it. Anyway, Catherine was telling us where the earthquakes were, and the map was lit up like a Christmas tree, and so we were right in the middle of them. It didn't affect us per se, but it was nice to know that somebody cared where we were there in the middle of nowhere. That's pretty. It's a kind of fir tree, huh? Tina's happy she's got trees again.
Oh, that would have been a cool spot. There's a river down there, I swear. Maybe one day.
I'll slow down for you. To remind you, we decided not to go to Kalama Falls at all. And
to Bob Marley.
So we canceled the reservations because we didn't want to do one more big chunk of mountain there.
Oh, where we go? You see that? Oh, it's so pretty.
It's a little fast.
5,000 feet, starting now.
We are at 5,000 feet. Beautiful valleys. I'm not sure if you can hear this or not, but one of the neighbors has decided to use his saw and saw something in two. I'm on an open mic here, so I'm hoping we don't get him and his saw on top of, the things I'm trying to tell you. She now has found the button.
I hope I got it when I snapped it.
Unless you hit the trees when you go by or something. Even if you have a tripod in the car, because of the movement of the car itself, you will have, some footage like that, and that's, in my opinion, that's fine. I mean, hey, reality TV. We are on a trip here. Still have snow in the mountains. likely. Some of these places are so old, it's amazing they haven't just collapsed. A place called Likely, and we are here at the Most Likely Cafe. Most Likely Cafe. Our dinner, and then continue. So come right along. It's nice here. We can do another 70 miles, I believe. All right. So you come in, and there's a Betty Boop. One. We have lots of Betty Boop fans. This is for you. Tina. Tina. Not Betty Boop. He said there were 16 of these pictures. Jed Smith story. Just a story. Must be a ghost story. 2 trains. Just playing. Rory Schooner. The Lodge. White Stallion. Chicken, a salad, and mashed potatoes and country gravy. Bon appetit. We were hungry. Sirloin shrimp, garlic bread peas, and mashed potatoes with no gravies. These are freaky. I've never seen irons like that. How cold irons. This is a chemtrail.
Got lucky earlier and didn't hit one. He was under us though, but we didn't hear
I had ordered a sirloin steak, and the lady meant well and gave me a T-bone, and I didn't have the heart to tell her I don't really like T-bone steaks, but she meant well and was excited that we stopped in her little establishment. But the food was excellent.
Thank you.
There was an issue with this truck. I can't remember what it was exactly. We filmed it for quite a ways, and then eventually something happened with it. I can't recall it. I actually know people that don't know the difference between a farm and a ranch.
Really?
Yeah.
A farm's something that's worked on and smaller.
And here we were talking about the difference of a farm and a ranch. And Tina being the city girl, and I don't know anything either. So we settled for a farm being having a lot of veggies, and a ranch just animals. So I'm hoping we got that right. Ranches are places where you raise like horses and
Cows
and domestic animals only. And a farmer can do pigs and chickens, but he only have corn. Go with it, you know.
something to feed them.
When we go to a place the second time, we have a general idea where we are and where we're going. And it's somewhat exciting not to know what's around the next corner.
They only have to work
And,
here, and they got moving cash for doing so. Weed is
But
it's over there in
by
East
you
Washington.
sitting through all this, when you go that way, you have a general idea. And we mentioned this before, some of you actually take those trips the same route we went, and then call me and they said, oh, you remember when you took us to such and such a place, and we are right around the corner from such and such a place. And it's kind of exciting for me when you do that. I call these shows no-brainers because we can just sit back and relax. And then eventually something we showed you becomes important to someone. So I appreciate you calling about these things. It had a lot of fat on it, so I'm not sure if that was top sirloin at all. I think it was a New York cut. Yeah, I'm talking about the steak that wasn't really top sirloin. The New York cut. And to me, that has too much fat. But they were nice, so I didn't complain.
Oh,
It did taste good.
I like fillets.
And this road just goes on, and I couldn't read that. I'm sure you couldn't either. Now look at this. These are Canadian geese. The only problem with those geese was they were going the wrong way. They were opposite of their migration pattern. And our friend Gypsy Hurley, when we see geese like that, we always think of her. And so we were honored that the geese came our way. Here they are. They're going the wrong way. Yeah, they did. Yeah. So many of them.
Snap a picture. You know what? They go the wrong way, huh? I got him. You know?
With global warming and everything, so many things are confused. According to the Native American, most of the spiders went to Montana last year. They were going inland. And so sometimes nature can show us things that would be easy to overlook if we wasn't aware of, if they have a meaning or if it's out of the ordinary. So this is not good. It's too shaky. And sometimes nature tells us things. Some was running across the highway. That's what she was trying to catch for you. Can't remember what it was. All tourists.
Here's a park. With an old train. That's a daycare. Yeah, we could do that. You said it's a daycare?
We're going to stop there and do a little story on this little town.
Choo-choo train that looked pretty cool there.
Well, you want to stop?
Oh, yeah. Let's find a park.
We're still looking for espresso stands.
Some pretty pictures of parks.
And we were looking for a hotel.
Main Street Coffee. Fresh fudge. Woohoo. Police department. The bench warmers. They got a movie theater.
We got excited. We found coffee.
It's a cowboy riding a bull.
Bank of America.
Oh, yay. That's a good thing.
Espresso. There it is. Donuts.
Coffee and donuts. Gotcha. That's a good thing.
Oh, fisherman. We didn't go to any restaurants because we had just eaten, but since we were stopping for a hotel, we wanted to see what we had to work with the next morning. We have to get gas tomorrow somewhere else. Go to Oregon, it's cheaper. Whoa, stay there, you baby. Now we are still in California. We're trying to wait with the gasoline until we get to Oregon. Oh, what's that? White House, maybe. The Elks Lodge. What we do is, when I get down to a half a tank, I usually tank up since I don't know what's ahead.
Yeah, but we can go to that.
And that's been working out really, really good.
Essex Motel.
The Essex Motel.
Parking. Let me show you some. This is so reasonable. $48 plus tax. You have 2 big beds. It smells wonderful, even though this is a smoking room. You have a TV, microwave, beautiful picture. Yeah, where you could actually entertain someone or do a reading. This box too. Mirrors on the wall. It smells so clean in here. I mean, there are just mirrors everywhere. Here's another one. It's extremely clean. We're happy. So if you stop on 395, it is one of the first towns in California, and good place to stop. Absolutely. And you see here, covered parking. There's a field or something back there. Yeah, totally happy. Well, pleased is more the word. Old-fashioned percolator. I haven't seen one of those in 20 years. In 2 cups. Well, I found an extension cord.
That's always important,
Oh my.
extension cords.
And here's my stone. It's purple. It's daytime, and it's purple. Now, what do you think of the whole thing? I just have no idea why it does it. It gets, it's blue at night. I see an alien face. Do 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 do. Well, there it is.
Yeah, like 2-3 weeks ago, you saw that stone. It was blue. It was nighttime now. We are in the inside here. We are still in Tumwater Falls Park. And to remind you, we had audio problems with this whole series of shows. We already told you we stayed in touch with the phones, and they informed us about weather and things like that. In most hotels, they have the weather channel, and you can most of the time go by that. A lot of time it gives you the temperature rather than the storm systems. Flying J's have weather maps in their establishment, and lots of times truckers coming from the opposite direction, if you ask them, let's say you going west and they're going east, and you'll ask, are you going east or west? And you say, oh, I'm going east. And say, well, okay, what's the weather like where you just came from? And they're pretty decent about making you aware of little pitfalls like that. But keeping a handle on the weather is really kind of important when you're out there, especially when you ladies go by yourself. And that always helps.
Got them. They're big old cranes over there. Oh, pretty horses. A lot of junk. We were gonna get those cranes for you.
Great.
Big, pretty birds with their long, sexy legs.
They did not belong there.
You would
so
see it that way now, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. I'm seeing it from a different perspective.
Okay, then I don't know where we're going to be able to turn around, but
So we turned around to film those cranes because they were not native to that area.
They're in the next field.
we'll probably turn one up there by
The green barn.
the green barn.
I took a cool picture of the green barn.
Cranes didn't belong here.
I couldn't have made
It's gonna
that
be the next
U-turn
set of
like that in
fields.
the RV.
Here we go. I'm gonna give it to you, Lilian, so you can get a better picture of it.
No, I'm going to go real slow.
Okay.
I can't turn, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I
Oh wow, there they are. See it? Hold on. Let me get in there good.
And there they are.
got them.
Oh yeah, I got them. Oh, those are beautiful. You see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
They
them.
don't belong there, I know that. So we're going to turn one up
We
there.
did a snapshot of them.
Wonderful, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I could have done it here. Well, okay.
The green barn will be just fine.
Under this truck is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Log truck.
Don't like those.
Yes, she was afraid of log trucks, so I always
They look like
made
pyramids
her
on
where
them.
they were
On
coming,
this
and this was too fast. And
Okay.
kind of talked her through her panic attacks
We
there.
turn around for you. See?
So we got those pretty birds.
I think they're still in California. some of the highways were real rough, you know.
Yeah, they're still there.
You see them?
Notice how green everything is.
Right there, see? It's not even May yet. It's still April.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
That was the earliest I had ever been out there. I had left as late as the 29th of April. And one year that didn't work out. We ended up in high winds and lots of tornadoes in the Dakotas, Montana and the Dakotas. That, what you're looking at there, we left early in April, and we came back on it, I believe, the 19th of April. So that was the earliest I had ever been out there and back, and it is for that reason that the scenery is so green.
Got it.
Prairie dogs. They're everywhere.
Watch the little prairie dogs. It's going to be a little rough here.
Come on up, baby.
It's just running. Run.
Running away.
There they go.
I'm repeating
There they
myself
go.
today. Let me be
It's
quiet.
okay.
They were everywhere.
I'm excited. They're all running away.
Yeah, and they were all running away from the car.
So they don't all
Glad
work
she's not
for
being
you.
Thanks to this animal saver we buy at the dollar store, they look like little horns. You put them on the front of your car, and animals hear that, and they either run away from your car or they stop, and it saves a lot of wildlife that way.
Hermit Lake.
I'm not sure if it
Unless
works
it's
for
flooded.
people or not, but this is Pyramid Lake.
Pyramid Lake.
And a few people, we could have beat those things out. He'll appreciate. Or he'll get in his car and come visit or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day.
That's pretty.
But it was still pretty cold actually, because here again, it was April.
She pushed the one partner. And she said, oh, what's that? And what makes it so nice when it's still colder, what you say, that's a pretty joke. And what you say is still, and what you say, it still records, you see.
And it is nice. Now we can see what she's trying to look at and show you. She can, once she pulls it in, she clicks it. So see, like, you can see what it was that she was aiming at. Countryside was just beautiful. California is not all beaches. Just looking for chemtrails. Yeah, you can see them. They
I
participated.
would be scared to walk around some of those places. You know, they just don't fall down. Hammerstead, which is not about 300 miles from me, had an earthquake yesterday.
Yeah, we're still talking about earthquakes, how we dodged them.
We're still in California, I think.
Yeah, we are. We're still in Cali.
It's a sign about a runaway she was trying to catch. The wild something. I don't remember what the name was.
What's it about?
Now there's a dog up there. I'm wondering if my things... Here comes a doggy.
Smile, pretty puppy.
There he is.
I got a pretty picture. Yeah, he's smiling. He's staying on the side. There's another green barn.
189.
Welcome to Oregon. Look at that, guys.
Click. She got
There you
it.
go. See?
Yeah, cool. I know sometimes we think when we go from one state to another, everything changes. When Claudia came from Europe and we went on our trip, I said, well, we're going to be in Idaho in a minute. And she thought at the borderline there, everything was going to change, and the scenery and the people, and then she found out that it was just a state line, that was all.
Survival.
It was a feeding lot, but I can't live on Mustilier, I'm sorry. Because
Look at that. It's pretty. Oh, come on, show me.
lots of horses. And we covered about an average, sometimes 300, sometimes 400 miles, because we did stop, quite a bit and talk to people. We've shown you some of the interviews already. The trip that we are on, as you see in this, we're going to go about it a little different. We're going to stop in a few little museums and things and talk to people more. But this here will familiarize you with the area.
The Valiants.
That must be a dog. I think she's looking for barns and things. Oh, good. Oh, good. Llamas.
I heard llamas protect and keep like stuff like coyotes and everything else out to protect the sheep.
They say that llamas are very spiritual animals also. A few years ago we did an interview with a person raising llamas. Slow down a little bit. That was weird.
Cool. I got Welcome to
Lakeview.
Lakeview. I did. Cool.
Now we're in the little town of Lakeview, Oregon.
I am going to stop there and do some stories. I found it a delightful little town.
In for you here. This is the downtown area. See the old timer there. That's downtown. We're going to continue this way. We have banners, town of Lakeview all the way down. Subway in Lakeview, beautiful paintings on the wall. It's so early in the morning and we're not hungry. We get in the middle of the desert, we probably wish we had eaten. Doesn't that look gorgeous? That's the end of the tape.
Smoke. Got it.
Yeah, see now. Now this is all forced.
Now we didn't know what that,
because this is probably fire.
there was a forced fire or not, so.
And I want to get those rocks over there. I think they're really pretty.
This was a little fast
We'll get it back.
because she put that still there for you.
Tina, and we on the tape last night we realized that neither one of us whistles.
That's right.
Yeah, here we reviving the whistle story. Just to remind you, we discovered that there was a whistle on the tape for that whole day actually. And my friend Rusty Smith was in a coma. Several months earlier, he had there was a robbery and somebody almost beat him to death with a hammer actually. So he had survived that and then went to in and out of rehabilitation centers, and then there came a point when he went into a coma. He was in Texarkana, Texas, and so when we came from the ghost town, unknowns to us, we had a whistle in the car. So when we played it that night, we thought maybe we had picked up a ghost or something, and he wanted to come with us. But then after a while, I realized it was Rusty Smith. A few weeks later, I called his wife to inquire how he was, and she answered the phone. She was at the hospital. And Rusty had came out of the coma, and she said, "You want to talk to him?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Hey, Vivian." That's what he called me. He said, "Hey, Vivian, I really enjoyed my afternoon with you guys. So in some paranormal or metaphysical aspects, we think Rusty was in the car with us." And so that's what we're talking about, the whistle that we had in the car for that whole day. Chemtrails.
Oh, cows. In cars.
And more
That
cows.
was weird.
Your favorite stuff all in the same place. Cows and junk cars.
She did like
We
junk
stopped in a little
cars.
town called Paisley.
Paisley.
We're gonna have something to eat here. Road out. I can't say that. Sure. Wow. Ukan. Can't say it.
Good luck, I still can't say it.
Okay, we are having food here. And it's 11:30. It's my phone. And here's Tina reading all about the definition of the cranes that we saw. Make sense?
Oh, makes total sense.
Good. Now we were told that there's a sign, there's a lot of delays. And the reason for that is they're removing the mudslide that we did not get caught up in last week. Hey, what do you know? That's how it goes. I'm a little in the way here, but this Mount Hard picture Jasper, these are the stones here. It's a reflection, I'm sorry. Picture is redneck girl living across the street. It's the American cowboy. It's a nice place to come in the winter time because there's a fireplace. This is what Tina's having. I have a chef salad, and we were talking about the fact that you can get a half instead of a whole. Told me you've been thinking about.
Oh, we've been thinking about doing Friday night booby nights.
Yeah, so now we send you the shows and then you can do anything you want to.
That would be very nice. I'd like that.
Wonderful. Okay. Then it is all said and done. Paisley, Oregon is going to get their own visit with a person of high strangeness show every week. Was missed the highlight of the town. It's next to the homestead and the mercantile. There you go.
we're all religious here. We have figured out that.
And Paisley is currently watching the shows. We pack them up 3 and 4 at a time and send them, and that's how we added them to our circle of friends. And sometimes it just happens like that. People have no cable, and I offer to do that, and that creates a little extra work for me, and I have to pay more postage. But we really appreciate when we add people. So now you know where they are, and they know who you are, and that's why we don't always do local shows. I like to go from one end of the spectrum to another because we have so many people. Let's see, Michigan, Alaska, Oregon, Missouri, Tennessee, and sometimes little bitty towns with just a few hundred people. And so we all have a common, we have this in common where we can all share the shows and get to know each other. And then of course the website, people get articles and things off the website, and they email each other, and so we have this whole network of friends all throughout the country.
Wow. No. Looking at right now.
Sumner Lake.
Yep, Sumner Lake.
Sumner Lake.
There's a Sumner Lake up by Tacoma.
I think people just got uncreative and decided to use everybody
Steal
else.
that word.
That's right. Like we see at Bellevue.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
What are those?
I think those were buffaloes.
Looky there, looky there. Wow, how pretty.
Bit of snow up there.
And it looks very much like Oregon.
Another view of Sumner Lake. And we're going to take a break for a minute.
Wait and see.
Yeah, we don't want no running tracks.
Old
Oh,
house.
Wow.
Like to go in there and see what lives there besides people.
Alrighty.
Yeah, birds skimming the water. Just flying along here. I don't know if I got them or not. It's nice and quiet there. Rain. So we stopped. It's not very mountainous, just a little bit. Just a
And you
little
can see the
rugged
snow is
terrain.
still here. It's a big lake, but it looks like the water was all the way up here now. We were told it was a mudslide being cleared out. Excuse me. Of course, these are chemtrails.
Look at the chemtrails.
Look at them.
What are those over there?
Chemtrails.
They were just everywhere.
Chemtrails. They're not zigzagging. Actually, they make them spines. They start out straight. At least we don't have crosses. But if you take a look here, I mean, they're just everywhere. They started early in the morning. And they're turning into furries and spines, which means everybody's gonna argue here in a day or two. Yeah. Other than that, hey, I saw a butterfly. Don't know if you see it or not. Oh. These are wokes. Right there, wokes. So, what's a woke? What's a woke? We said we're not doing cows anymore. So there you go. mating season. So I said, let me try that. Oh. We had talked about cows so much that I said I'm tired of the word cows. Let's call it something else. So we reversed cows, which would make it a wook. We're now getting ready to go into those rock slides that had changed the whole setup there. And one of the things I like to remind you when you're on the road, call home. I know some of you think no good is good news, but it's always nice to hear from somebody when they're on the road. And if it's only I'm okay and I'm heading home or whatever. Thank Ebony again for the for working with me for that whole day doing all these inserts. As you can see, we finally changed clothes, and I'm gonna have some music from the Reggae Connection from the late 80s and early 90s. Reggae Connection was an agency. We had many artists. We sponsored concerts and were able to tape some music that had never been released. And so I'm going to let you listen to that for a while and enjoy. Well, that's our cue to tell you goodbye for the week, and Randy Shaw, now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, singing you out of here with Lilian, Miss Lilian, and we'll see you next week. Just because you really care where our journey goes, all it is part of our planning. Will it still? And if we do our part,
more fun. Take us here, and you take us there.